Okay, boys and girls, so Audi has recently revealed the new Audi RS5 and RS5 Avant. They don't call it the RS5 Sportback anymore because the A5 is the only, well, it's a mishap of the A4 and the A5. Still, even though the RS5 is a Sportback, it has a hatchback tailgate, so that's, I guess, good. And it also does look like a Yeah, it does look like a mishap between a sedan and a fastback, given that you have this little sedan boot lid, but actually this whole thing opens. So we're just going to take a look at the images. I'm going to give you the facts and my thoughts. So the new RS5. Now, this is still an ICE car, thank God. So no electrification just yet. Well, there is a bit of electrification in the form of a hybrid, a plug-in hybrid, but it's not an electric car. Now, out of the two body styles, I'm just going to quickly show you the images. Here's the sedan, the front, the rear, with like a little spoiler. Now, this has like a carbon package. I'm assuming this is all going to be just plastic, black plastic on a normal spec car. I do like this carbon weave that Audi has, like this carbon camo. They introduced it on the RS e-tron GT. Frankly, it does look very nice in my opinion. Doesn't look cheap to me, at least to my eyes. The oval RS exhaust pipes have been moved slightly closer to the middle, which I don't mind the look of. It looks quite cool. It looks quite sporty, like a rocket ship. But a lot of people criticize this design choice. Not many people like this exhaust placement. I frankly do. And I love that, again, I mentioned this in my RS3 video, I love that Audi put this little, like, it's not a fog light, but I'm assuming it's like a reflector, or maybe it's a fog light, I don't know, like dead in the middle of the rear bumper. It's like an F1 car. Some people may think it looks tacky, and frankly, a lot of y'all probably seen, if you live in the UK, a lot of these cars like M140i's and A classes, fake AMGs, driving around with these like Temu fake fog light looking things. Well, it's actually not a fog light, it's a fourth brake light which flashes when you put on the brakes. I hate that crap, but this doesn't look cheap. This looks quite cool and sporty. Front has been given the RS treatment, so now we have it's not really a hexagon, it's a rhombus grille. Usually Audi RS grills have hexagonals, but this is more like a rhombus. The front bumper has been extended. The rings have been given a different placement. Now, this is something, again, people don't really like, is the ring placement. I don't really mind it, but I do wish that Audi gave it proper metal rings instead of the plasticky ones, the plasticky 2D ones. Again, we can see some of this carbon camo here as well. You have tinted HD matrix LED headlights. Ceramic brakes is an option, and I do like these wheels, I must say. Like I mentioned, fastback tailgate, so quite a nice practical car. And this is a plug-in hybrid, which, I mean, in the modern world, this is what we're gonna get. Now, I must say, between the sedan and the Avant probably would be my choice. I wasn't really a fan of Audi RS, well, with the exception of the RS4. Not really a fan of the wagon form as like a race car, because a wagon is a family car. It's something I think that should be like a comfortable car, not a sporty car. But I must say, Audi has killed it with this design. The side profile of this car is just amazing. Now, this bit here is only a bit weird, but this overall side profile, I didn't think they would improve on it, but they did. Holy hell, does this car look better than the previous RS4. The rear, here we go. Again, the same exhaust pipes, but it of course has a wagon rear end. This hybrid charging port, I must say, looks ginormous, and I guess that's because of the widened rear track. But yeah, this charging port does look a bit big. And in terms of the interior, new infotainment system. Audi has started rolling out a new updated infotainment system for their newer cars due to a lot of user complaints. The steering wheel has physical controls. Well, it has these two rotary dials, which allows you to adjust volume and stuff, which is a nice bonus compared to the all capacitive touch steering wheel we've had before. Now this is still capacitive touch, but at least there is some element of physicality in it. They also have added this little panel, which I'm assuming is for like the driver assistance system. I swear that the car didn't have that before. I guess it's part of the new infotainment update. The steering wheel is the same. It's that hexagonal steering wheel, which a lot of people don't like. Frankly, I don't mind it. It's not the best looking wheel, but it's not bad either. I can get used to it. You can get, of course, get this in Alcantara as well. This specific example is in leather. And the interior overall, I mean, yeah, it's nothing much to say. The new infotainment system is nice, but this passenger display is just so unnecessary. And I would like to see physical controls like for the climate. That would have been nice. But other than that, no complaints. Here's a look at the bucket seats and the rear as well. Now, of course, you can get a glass roof, I assume, for the RS5, which I would for the Avant, to give the cabin a more spacious feeling. And in terms of facts and figures, the RS5 and the RS5 Avant now have a 2.9 liter V6 engine, so the same as in the predecessor, the RS4 and the RS5 Sportback, but it's been given a hybrid treatment. So the total power output is now 640 horsepower and around 800 Newton meters of torque. Now the car weighs in at around 2.3 tons, which is just, yeah, it is nuts for an RS5. But it's unfortunate that modern reality of cars nowadays, due to this electrification, we are seeing a lot of performance cars being hybridized in order to meet emission regulations set by the EU. Now, the car also has dynamic torque control, which I assume is torque vectoring. Yep, it says so, torque vector on the rear. You can get optionally carbon ceramic brakes, which is nice. And I love the gold calipers that they offer now. And I assume this car has a normal quattro system. The traditional quattro, the 50-50 split, not the Haldex. It would be weird if this car had a Haldex system. Now, the rear axle is obviously handled by the electric motor, which sits on the rear axle, and the front is by the engine. And it has, yeah, a self-locking center differential. So yeah, this is the new RS5. But just looks alone, especially the Avant, this car looks like an absolute banger. Much better than the G80 M3 Touring. I know how a lot of people praise the Touring M3, the M3 Touring, but there's just something about the M3 Touring I never liked in terms of its design. The front end, for instance, the beaver teeth, I just can't really get used to them. I kind of have a love and hate relationship with the M3 G80 in general. And the rear end of the G80 M3, well, it's just, I mean, come on, even as a BMW fan, you have to agree, this back end is much sexier than the one in the G80 M3 Touring. It just is. And I know the G80 M3 is probably dynamically more capable, given that it's not a hybrid. We actually have pictures right here. Like, this front end, it's just, I don't know, I just cannot get used to it. And what I don't really like about the G80 M3 Touring is this quarter window here, the rear quarter window. It just doesn't look good for a performance wagon. This is where the Audi has always been good with wagon designs, RS wagons. That's why they're the king of wagons, is just giving them a nice look overall, especially like if you compare the M3 Touring to the RS5 in terms of its side profile, this just looks a lot better. So yeah, honestly, kudos to Audi with the design for the RS5, the new RS5. They have absolutely smashed it. Obviously, BMW are preparing a direct competitor to this, given that the G80 M3 is now 5 years old. So BMW are going to release a new M3 generation, which is going to be electric and petrol powered with a newer class of design treatment. And Mercedes, well, I don't know what Mercedes is doing. They're having a whole revamp with new bringing back the old inline sixes, which is nice. But again, like in general, the C-Class AMG, it's not gonna look nowhere near as sexy as this car does. So yeah, new RS5, honestly, Audi have knocked it out of the park. Audi has always been good with designs. Well, in the past, lately they had a kind of a identity crisis, but this car shows that Audi may be back on track, and I'm honestly all here for it. I can't wait to see this car in the showroom. It's gonna be, yeah, exciting. Now, price-wise, Audi hasn't announced yet, but I'm assuming the starting price is gonna be around 80 to 90,000 pounds. It's not available in the configurator yet, but yeah, it's gonna be around on the same ranks as like its competitors, like the M3 and the C63 AMG. So overall, Audi RS5, huge thumbs up for me. The only, I guess, negatives about it is the interior, but honestly, the exterior compensates for it. I mean, yeah, it's a striking looking car.